History of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of the Calamity Ganon.
Hello, my hypelings! Welcome back to the HMK channel, the hypest channel around when it comes to The Legend of Zelda and the upcoming game Breath of the Wild. Today marks 35 days to go. We in this! I hope you're ready for your daily dose of Zelda hype. And once again, if we hit 100k before March, giving away a Nintendo Switch, but I'm already doing a giveaway for Breath of the Wild. 3 copies I'm giving away. Enter. Everything you need to know is in the description box below. So guys, today's video will act as a bit of a precursor to a very wanted video, a heavily suggested video that I'm working on. I'm trying to get all the details out, and that video that's coming out later is my revised timeline placement for Breath of the Wild, since we have new details and whatnot. But I want to make this video and act as a precursor to get a huge chunk of it out of the way and, you know, expedite that hype, because, you know, Zelda videos coming out of the woodwork from your boy HMK. Yes, it's happening. But today I want to tell you guys right now, there is no way in hell that Breath of the Wild is going to take place in the adult timeline. Alright? There's no way, and I need to mute that Discord goodness. Okay, there we go. No way in hell is Breath of the Wild going to be in the adult timeline. Oh, but HMK, but the Koroks and the blue shirt, and it's almost like Link's PJs and the Wind Waker. No. Now, to be fair, there are some connections between Breath of the Wild and the Wind Waker. A lot of people were saying that, way back in the day when Breath of the Wild was unveiled in E3 last year, they were saying that, what if this takes place in the Hyrule where the water sunk? You see salt from an ancient sea, you see Koroks, you have Link with his blue attire, and people were saying that from like way back when in 2014. And another thing is when the Calamity Ganon just rose up and I know I started destroying everything. You know, they said that, that's similar to the Wind Waker, how they told the legend of Ganon or Ganondorf, as he came back from his seal from Ocarina of Time, and he started destroying the place in a red wrath. And Calamity Ganon looking pretty wrathy and looking pretty red wrathy Ganon. Okay, so there, to be honest, there are some connections, and that's the beauty of Breath of the Wild. We actually have no idea where this game will take place, and there are so many conflicting ideas and themes and points and traces of other Zelda games in Breath of the Wild, which makes a lot of people believe that the timelines will flop on top of each other. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I already made a video on that, and I should do a revision video on that too as well with some collaborators. But I digress. So the biggest reason why that I don't believe, or I don't want to bet money, because, like, I'm not going to bet money with all you guys. I'll be broke. So, the reason why I believe that Breath of the Wild will not be in the adult timeline, because, one, already, Hyrule is sunk. Hyrule is gone. Hyrule is done. Alright? Where this game takes place in a ruined Hyrule, but an intact Hyrule. Alright? By the end of the Wind Waker, Hyrule is completely gone. Yeah, in the time of the Wind Waker, it was sealed underwater, but that seal was put at the climax of the game. If you guys already played the game, the water goes down, Hyrule is completely flushed, the Master Sword is gone, everything's gone, and they go off and find new Hyrule by the time of Spirit Tracks. And also, Aonuma made a very interesting quote when asked about the timeline. You know, people keep on asking, like, where does this game take place in the timeline? Where? And he's playing coy, and he's all like, I ain't gonna tell you. You're gonna find out for yourself in the game. But if you want a clue, the most recent trailer of Breath of the Wild, the one that we saw at the Nintendo Switch presentation, an old woman, a lot of us believe it's Impa, says that the history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of the Calamity Ganon. And he goes in a little bit of detail after that, saying that, to clarify, what she means is that the history of Zelda, the history of the royal family, is also the history of Ganondorf, and that the royal family in Hyrule has experienced repeated attacks by our big boy Ganon. So, with that being said, repeated constant attacks, if we take the unified timeline and the adult timeline in terms of how many times Ganon or Ganondorf has attacked, that would be 2 times. And I'm not counting Demise. We're talking about Calamity Ganon. Alright? He attacked in Ocarina of Time as Ganondorf, got sealed, and then attacked again before the events of the Wind Waker and died by the end of the Wind Waker. So that's 2 times. The other timelines, the Child and the Downfall Time, had repeated attacks. So that's a little clue of where I'm going to be going with my timeline placement, and that's a little clue that Aonuma gave us when it comes to time placement. So when it comes to that, the fact that Wind Waker, after Wind Waker, Hyrule is completely flushed. Breath of the Wild, we have Hyrule and attacked Hyrule. And the fact that Calamity Ganon, has attacked Hyrule repeatedly thanks to the history of the royal family of Hyrule. And then Aonuma pointing that is like, hey, listen, if you want a clue, this part, it's a clue, shows that indeed this game, there's no way this game could take place in the adult timeline, which is good, because although I love the Wind Waker and I appreciate Spirit Tracks and Fountain of Hourglass, the adult timeline has to be hands down my least favorite timeline. Alright, because you lose so many things in that timeline. You lose Hyrule, you lose the Master Sword, you lose Ganon. And I mean, like, yeah, they start a new Hyrule, but for me, there's no real future there. Alright, the future is in the Child timeline, the Unified timeline, or the Downfall timeline. Alright, we got more games in the Downfall timeline in the past couple of years. We got A Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes, and you know, you gotta show that Child timeline some love, Mr. Zelda people. Mr. Zelda people. But that being said, a lot of people are gonna love to argue the fact of the Koroks and stuff like that, but it's very simple that the Kokiri could have easily evolved or transformed into the Koroks by the time of Breath of the Wild. And the reason why they did that from Ocarina of Time to the Wind Waker is like, oh, when it came to living on the seas, they had to transform to this. And all in all, the Great Deku Tree and the way that Hyrule fell after the adult timeline, and then Link saved the day, and then Hyrule fell again, like, it kind of tells them that, you know, they have to keep to themselves. They can't be targeted as humans, or they have to find ways to, you know, move around a lot quicker to probably escape bad guys or whatever. And that's why they had to evolve into Koroks. It could have been just, you know, like a step of evolution for survival. And Breath of the Wild looks to be in that same vein of survival. And then at the same time, Zoras exist in Breath of the Wild, and a lot of people want to argue the Rito tribe is there. They're not the Rito tribe. I really need to make a video on that. But they're not the Rito tribe, and because Zoras and those bird people coexist, but the Zoras are coexisting with the Koroks, because by the time of Wind Waker, Kokiri evolved into Koroks, the Zora evolved into Rito. So there's a bit of, you know, compare, contrast, a little non-compliance in that vein. But yes, Breath of the Wild will not take place on the adult timeline. Quote me on that. Alright? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are looking forward to my revised timeline placement video. This is acting as a precursor. Please look forward to it. It's coming soon. I'm working really hard on it, and, you know, a lot of people have thoughts of where this game could take place in the timeline, and those thoughts might line up, but the reason why I want to make that video is to get the nitty-gritty details down. I'm not going to be like, okay, this game takes place blank, and that's it. No, I'm like, this place takes place blank because of blank, 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 connected to blank, connected to Ocarina of Blank, and more, like, everything. So that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna go down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, share, favorite, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK. Remember, 100K, we're almost there. We are almost there. Before March, giving away a Switch. And also be sure to enter my Breath of the Wild giveaway. Everything you need to know, once again, is in the description box below. So, guys, until next video, I've been HMK. Keep up the hype links for Breath of the Wild, and I will check you guys later.